Yo, you got a mic? What's going on, guys? Back here with another banger video. And in today's video, I'm going to be fixing the DCEU. Now, I'm not going to do it all at once. In this video, I'm only going to be doing phase 1 of the DCEU, but I'm going to call it chapters just so it's different than the MCU. And I'm just going to say right now, I know some of this might be buns, but obviously I'm not a professional writer, and I feel like I can do better than what the DCEU did, because we all know how bad they fumbled the bag. But before getting into the video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you never miss my banger videos. So for the first movie in the DCU was Man of Steel, and honestly, we can keep that mostly the same. The only thing I would add is make Superman save people in the Metropolis fight, because in that fight, he literally just lets oil tankers explode, buildings fall, have Superman have to save people, and that's what gives Zod the upper hand. And I guess you can still have him kill Zod at the end of the movie, but just have him save people in that fight, because that's a big problem I see with that. Next, we got Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. So this is the first recasting I'm going to do. I'm going to recast Lex Luthor as Mark Strong, who was the villain in Shazam. But my rule with character replacements is I can't use any of the actors that are going to be characters in the new DCU. I'm only going to change or replace characters that were in the DCEU, and then obviously I can just choose actors that weren't in any projects. So now we have Mark Strong as Lex Luthor, and Batman would have a similar motivation as he did in the original, with Superman having unchecked power, and he was seeing buildings collapse in Metropolis. But the reason he saw the buildings fall, because as I said in Man of Steel, Superman was saving more people than he did in the original. But let's just say this one building, Zod tackled him out of the way and then it fell, and Superman felt really guilty for that and got angry during their fight. And that was the building Batman saw fall, and that's where Batman's perception comes from, because he didn't see Superman get pulled away. So that's Batman's perception right there. And also he believes in the unchecked power of Superman, and what if Superman would ever turn evil, so that's why he doesn't like him. And Batman would do basically the same things, except he wouldn't just be straight up murdering people, and also there wouldn't be those dream sequences, because those were just unnecessary. And I think Batman and Superman's fight would happen a little earlier in the movie, with Mark Strong manipulating Superman into fighting Batman because, he had his parents captive and stuff. And the fight would go pretty much the same up until Batman has a kryptonite spear and is about to kill Superman. But instead of the Martha thing happening, maybe Superman says Lois or something, and then Batman realizes that Superman is basically as human as him, so he stops. And then for the second half of the movie, he and Superman work together, because this was a lot that was missing in the Batman vs. Superman, was them teaming up, because even when they were working together, there wasn't any really banter. They were just fighting alongside each other. But I think we could have that here, where the second half of the movie, they're actually friends, and they banter back and forth, and they have to find out how to take down Lex Luthor. And in this movie, Lex would not create Doomsday. Instead, he would create Metallo, who was Wallace Keefe, who had his legs destroyed in the Battle of Metropolis in Man of Steel. And obviously, he wouldn't have been the bomb that blew up that whole courtroom. Let's just say that was another one of Lex's, minions or something like that. Or maybe Lex just planted it. Something like that. But Wallace Keefe is alive, and he wants revenge for Superman because he believes it's Superman's fault that his legs are gone. And then Lex turns him into a robot and puts the kryptonite in his chest. So now, the finale is Batman and Superman working together to take down Metallo. And also, they will not be using the design they were going to use for Metallo, which was in the concept. But, no, that looks absolutely atrocious. just literally make him a robot with half his skin on. Why wouldn't that look is like, I would honestly argue simpler. Just literally make the Terminator with half skin on. Simple, right there. And then obviously with the kryptonite. And Superman would simply not die in this movie. Him and Batman would beat Metallo with the power of teamwork. And then they would arrest Lex Luthor because Metallo was the only thing stopping them from getting to Lex. Now, next in release order would be Suicide Squad, but we're not making that a movie. Instead, we're just going to replace it with Wonder Woman, and we'll just say Wonder Woman gets released a year earlier, so it's released in the same year as Batman vs. Superman, and we can basically just keep Wonder Woman completely the same. I don't see any problem with it. The only problem I would see would be Wonder Woman's actor, Gal Gadot, but I can't really think of any other actress to play her. There is some points where her acting isn't great, but it's not that crazy of an impact. So we'll just keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman will stay the same, but now it'll be the third movie in the universe. The fourth movie in this universe will be Green Lantern. And this one is a little bit confusing because it's going to follow the Emerald Twilight storyline from the comics, where Hal Jordan can't save his hometown from destruction, and then he basically turns on the Lantern Corps and goes rogue, and then this causes the Lanterns to need to find a new Green Lantern, and that's where they go to John Stewart, and he becomes the new Green Lantern, and John Stewart, along with the Guardians of Oa, end up banishing Hal to the Dead Zone, and now John Stewart is the new Green Lantern. And for the castings of this movie, I think we make Miles Teller play Hal Jordan, and for John Stewart, I'm going to choose Aldous Hodge, who also played in Black Adam, so that's our second universe casting swap. So the movie will start out with Hal already being a Green Lantern, and John will be the main character. And once Hal goes rogue, John is brought into the Lantern Corps and trained by Kilowog, like Ryan Reynolds was in the original Green Lantern movie. And Sinestro is basically the same guy. He gives John Stewart tips, but it's actually a secret that Sinestro was working with Hal the whole time, and he was kind of manipulating and enabling Hal to become Parallax. Once Hal is banished, Sinestro dips out because he doesn't want to get banished as well, and then we see at the end, he loses his Green Lantern ring, and in the post-credits scene, he gets the Yellow Lantern ring. Now, to wrap up Chapter 1 of the DCEU, we have Justice League. This movie would be released in 2018, and it will be following the Zack Snyder cut. So basically, just replace the theatrical with Zack Snyder cut. Because honestly, I think everyone just agrees that Zack Snyder's cut is better. Just more cinematic, better everything basically. It's just very long. Now the main differences will be Cyborg is replaced by John Stewart's Green Lantern. And I'm recasting Aquaman as Lucas Till. And I know some people critique Justice League that they made it too soon and they should have made more solo movies. And people think they should have made one solo movie for every single member. In this version, we would have 3 solo movies for half the characters. And then Batman kind of has a movie with Dawn of Justice. So basically, 4 of the members all have solo movies. And we're just going to leave Flash and Aquaman to get movies after. And I think they benefited from that because there was some mystery, and you don't want to cram their backstories that much into this already long movie. And in the movie, they wouldn't use one of the mother boxes to revive Superman because obviously Superman is alive in this version. And instead of Batman and Wonder Woman, it's Superman and Batman who initially create the team. The main villain is Steppenwolf, and obviously they defeat him. The movie wraps up the same with all the characters going their separate ways and unlocking new events that are gonna spiral into future stories. And the post-credit scene would be the same with Lex Luthor breaking out of jail and meeting up with Slade Wilson and discussing plans for their own villainous team. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I just did Chapter 1, which is basically like an MCU version of Phase 1. So it's like Chapter 1 of the DCEU ends here with 5 movies. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I will see y'all in the next one.